How y'all doing today? I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of the Inner Sanctum Hot Topics of the Week. It's July 7th, Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday. We're going to jump right into it. This week, I want to talk about this new announced CGI Ninja Turtles movie that's in the works right now with Seth Rogen attached as a producer of the film. I want to touch on this Zantanna movie that's was announced that's in the works with DC. And then even though I want to touch on a little, little dots of here and there. This Predator, Aliens of Predator, no longer with Dark Horse Comics. Jeffrey Dean and his possible pop up in The Boys season 3. So I'm gonna jump right into it and talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was announced last week that a new CGI film is in the works with Seth Rogen from Knocked Up, This Is the End, Super Bad. Um, you know, in charge as a main producer of the film. Um, Round about I don't know 2017, it was announced that a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie would be coming out. It would be a reboot that was different, from the previous two films that was produced by Michael's Bay Platinum Dune uh, production company. This would be a totally different retake on the characters. A lot of fans thought it would be a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. So with this news coming out last week that it will be a CGI film, that took a lot of fans by surprise. But at the end of the day, it's still a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. We still gonna go and see it, but a lot of questions, are on a lot of people's mind is, what's going to be the direction that this film is going to go. Is it going to be, um, kiddish? Are they going to, repay homage to, the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics? The black and whites from back in the day, was a very dark and gritty, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that's why the 1990 film, um, you know, still holds up so, you know, today because it was the closest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film that we have had that was closer to the comics. You know what I'm saying? All the other ones that came after was, on the kiddish side, and a lot of fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles been wanting you know, wanted to go back to that dark and grittiness. You know what I'm saying? Most films these days look at your Batmans and your Daredevils. You know what I'm saying? It's like they got that gritty take on them. So a lot of fans are, we want to see that. Most of the fans that grew up with Ninja Turtles are in a mid to late 30s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we want to see that on film again. I think that's why the 1990 film holds, a deep connection to a lot of people because it's pretty much the best Ninja Turtle film um, to a lot of people. The CGI film that was released in 2007, that was also a good take on the Ninja Turtles. I don't know why they didn't follow up with that film with a sequel, but it looked like they want to go that route again just to see if, that if they can get their audience back with this film, and maybe, if this film is successful, we can probably get another live action Ninja Turtle movie somewhere down the line. So, I just, when I heard Seth Rogen was producing the last film that I heard, the film that came to mind that I remember him producing and also starring in was the Green Hornet, which that really didn't, do that well for one. And, my dad was a Bruce Lee fan growing up, so Green Hornet, was talked about a lot, in the house, and you know the movie was totally different from the TV show. Like the movie was a joke pretty much compared to the TV show, And I'm a diehard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, so I don't want the Turtles being a joke. You know what I'm saying? As long as Seth Rogen treat this movie with the respect that it deserves, like be dedicated to the film. You know what I'm saying? Give the fans a Ninja Turtle film that we can latch on to, and that it can work. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the Michael Bay films, the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle films, I think what I'm saying, they kind of had the right mindset, but they just went about it. They got off on the wrong foot in the beginning with the first film, and they never got it back on track. Like the second film, it had the right cameos, Bebop and Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can get all those characters that we grew up with, loving and stuff, and the movie actually be good, uh, you know, I wouldn't mind Seth Rogen producing, having involvement in this film. I just want a good, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. I love the Turtles. NECA pretty much gets all my money with all this Ninja Turtle stuff they're releasing as of late. Uh, so I don't know the direction that they going in, but I really I hope and pray that it's leaning more towards that serious tone of what we grew up in the comics. You know what I'm saying? So I hope we see Bebop and Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, Dimension X, Crane, you know the Turtles. A lot of people, when you think of Turtles, you think of Master Shredder. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of more different enemies that we haven't seen on the big screen yet. It's always Shredder. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the Ninja Turtle movies that we didn't have, I think Shredder was pretty much the main villain in all of them except maybe one, and that was Ninja Turtles 3. Like I said, the 2007 CGI film, he wasn't in there, but the Foot Clan and Karai, his daughter, was still in the film, and Shredder was also still mentioned. Uh, but like I say, I think it's time, what I'm saying, to give the adult fans of the Ninja Turtles a Ninja Turtle film that they can latch on to. You know what I'm saying? The 1990 film is still one of my favorite films of all time. It's in my top five. You know what I'm saying? I love that film. I don't go a month without watching that film at least twice. Um, so I want to see something. You know, just do the Ninja Turtles justice, please, Seth Rogen. Like, do it justice, please. Um, as the Ninja Turtles, they've been around for damn near 40 years. I think the longevity is still there. They right up there with the Power Rangers. That's been going on for so long. You know what I'm saying? The fan base is still there. The money still comes in year after year from Ninja Turtle merchandise. It's like you make a good movie, the fans are going to come and support it. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Just that's all it is to it. So yeah, I just want a good Ninja Turtle film. You know, I don't know why they never made a sequel to the 2007 CGI film, but maybe this is a late coming sequel to that film. We don't know yet. It was just announced last week that the film is coming. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's a good film. We get some fan service in that movie, and just hope Seth Rogen delivers on that front. I want to jump next. I want to talk about this Zantanna movie that was announced. Also, that WB and DC are getting ready to put into production. Uh, they still haven't found anyone to play Zantanna. Um, Zantanna is one of my favorite. Well, she pretty much is my favorite female hero between DC and Marvel. For people that don't know who she is, I put it simple for you. She's pretty much the Doctor Strange Scarlet Witch of the DC universe. She's badass. Okay, she's part of the Justice League Dark. You know what I'm saying? She done been around the block a couple of times. She done dated, Dick Grayson, Batman, Constantine. She's a kick-ass superhero. You know what I'm saying? She does all the magic. Uh, she done been in Smallville. I don't know if anybody used to watch Smallville, but she was in a couple of episodes of Smallville. Um, she was in Justice League Unlimited, Justice League, the cartoons back in the day, Batman animated series. So she's been around the animated world for a long time, but you know, getting the news that they're finally making a live action Zantanna movie, that could be, if done right, that can be a really good, interesting film that I think is long, overdue. I've been asking for that for a long time. The character is such a complex character that they can do a lot of good things if they really take this property seriously. And DC, with Shazam, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, they delivered good films. Like give Zantanna film that service, and DC got a hit on their hands. You know what I'm saying? Now who could play Zantanna? Me personally, I would like the girl that played on Baywatch. She played on Baywatch live action movie, San Andreas. I think she, got the look for Zantanna. You put it, do her hair black, she looks just like Zantanna. So that'd be nice to see. I want to maybe and somehow um, this Suicide Squad movie that's coming out next year that James Gunn uh, is directing. It was rumors that Zantanna was supposed to pop up in that film, so maybe she ends up popping up in that film, and that kind of lays the foundation to her solo movie. And I think DC is just trying to. They're not concentrating on team up films at the moment. I think they're, putting on their concentration towards, solo films, worrying about that solo movies before they jump into that team up films, with the Justice Leagues and stuff like that. So Santana is an important character in DC Comics. You know what I'm saying? She didn't, especially as of recently. You know what I'm saying? She didn't been involved in a lot of like I say, DC animated properties that she's been, one of the main characters. She can handle her own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited to see that live action film finally being announced. And y'all make sure y'all keep an eye out for that. So any more news that will be coming out with that in the recent weeks or months, you know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I bring it to y'all day one. Uh, so next, um, it was announced earlier last week also that uh, Marvel Comics now owns the rights to the Aliens and Predator comic books for what 20 years, the past 20, 25 years. Uh, Aliens and Predator comics have been under the Dark Horse brand. That a lot of people don't know Dark Horse unless you are, accurate comic book reader. You know what I'm saying? Most people only know DC Comics and Marvel Comics as the two brands of Marvel comic books. But Dark Horse, they have produced, like I said, they have brought out the Aliens and Predator comics for years, years. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that that license that they had to do them comics had ran out, and since Disney, who owns Marvel, brought out Fox, who makes the Aliens and Predators movies, now is under the Disney brand, which is pretty much Marvel. It pretty much made sense that that license that they had with Dark Horse ran out. That Marvel went right there and scooped up that property. So it'll be interesting to see in a couple of years, what kind of comics that we would get with Aliens and the Predators. Will we get like a Predator Avengers crossover, or something like that. um, I'm curious to see what would this mean for any future Predator and Alien movie that will be produced under the Disney brand. Will they try to intertwine the comics with the movies, and a little bit of that, a little bit of this. The Aliens and Predator franchise has been around for a long time, over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I think Marvel, like Dark Horse, had done some good Alien and Predator storylines. I remember growing up reading a lot of them. So it'll be interesting to see how Marvel does with the properties. As Marvel Comics, I think they'll do. I think they do the properties justice. So that'll be cool to see how that goes. Um, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan of The Walking Dead. It was reported last week that he will be joining Amazon Prime's The Boys season 3. Um, what that mean about his character on The Walking Dead, I don't know. Maybe Negan is leaving the show somehow. We'll have to watch the upcoming season of this Walking Dead and see, what that goes. But yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in contract talks to be joining season 3 of The Boys. Um, I don't know what character he's playing or how involved in the series he will be, but he's coming to The Boys. Uh, I'm late to the game. I just binge watched the first season of The Boys last week. Amazing show, crazy show. Um, I'm hooked. I can't wait for season 2 to come out in a couple of weeks. Um, I signed up for Amazon Prime just to watch that show. I wasn't disappointed. A lot of my friends, were teasing me and saying, "I can't believe you haven't seen this show." The Boys is it's a good show. If you haven't seen it like me, make sure you jump on that ASAP. Um, yeah, so Jeffrey Dean Morgan coming to The Boys season 3. Make sure y'all get that. Also want to Black Widow. So uh, Scarlett Johansson had an interview last week, and she was saying that the upcoming Black Widow film um, is a franchise of its own. That multiple films could be in the works for this franchise. Um, if they go that route, I don't know. It's like, will Natasha be the Black Widow? How would they? Will they keep going back into the past, or will somebody take over the Black Widow mantle? Um, you know, I think they should have been did a Black Widow movie. I think it's a little bit too late. But the movie still, the movie looks good. If they do sequels, I think it won't be Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanoff as the Black Widow. I think it would be somebody else using the Black Widow name, and I think that's how that's going to go. So, not too much to say about that, but you know, the MCU is kind of, to me personally, I think they're kind of slipping up right now, and I don't want to get in that discussion, but a lot of stuff that I've been hearing and reading about past couple of weeks, I think they're going into a direction that not many people will be pleased with. But hey, they got to do what they got to do to make money. Uh, I don't know. I think DC is finally getting on track, the right track, that I think they can really make some noise with their cinematic universe, and I think finally be a good head-on-head rival with the MCU that'll pretty much keep the MCU in their place and make sure they keep delivering good quality films to us, to the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like for so long, it's just been the MCU producing these good movies, hits after hit after hit. that, after a while they're gonna be like, well, hey, the fans gonna go see this movie regardless of the quality of it. But if DC can get on track and also produce good movies and bring that rivalry from the comics to the big screen, that will make the Marvel Cinematic Universe have to stay on their toes and keep producing good films, hey, we all win at the end, right? So, with that being said, I want to bring this week's show to a conclusion. I want to say God bless. May the force be with you all. And y'all stay safe out there, man. Y'all take that coronavirus seriously. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be back next week with more for you. The website is up. It's still a progress, and it's still a work in progress. I got my podcast. I'm about to start in a couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. And make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Please leave feedback, good or bad. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, and you know what I'm saying? Just keep the geek life alive. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to be a geek right now. And so many good comic book TV shows and movies, you know what I'm saying, coming out right now. So, hey, enjoy. Love y'all.